friends, it's me, Jennifer Jayde. I have a big topic for us tonight, so we are going to dive right in. What I'm going to do first is just make sure that everyone can watch that wants to see this. So I'm going to take just a minute while everyone's joining and just share it in a couple of groups and just get everyone on. While you're joining, let me know that you're here, let me know your name, let me know you're watching from. I am so excited for what I have to share tonight. If you're watching the replay, let me know in the notes below in the comments. Say hi, let me know where you're watching from. And I'm just gonna quickly share this just to make sure everyone who wants to see can see. Okay, so I'll just be really quick. Let's see. Let's share. So let me know where you're watching from. Say hi, let me know your name. And I'm just gonna quickly share this in my group. Okay. Hi Tracy, yay, you're here. Okay, of course when you're trying to do something quickly, it's not happening quickly. Let's get out of here. Okay. Okay. Okay guys, let me know if you're here. Let me know what city you're watching from. Hey Beth Joy, thanks for saying hi. Thanks for hopping on. All right, let's do it. There we go. Yay. Okay, we're ready. Okay, how's everything? Can you see me okay? Okay, let's do it. All right, guys, welcome. My name is Jennifer Jayde. Some of you are familiar with me. Some of you may have known me my whole life. I see some of you popping on. Some of you may have no clue who I am or what I'm doing here, what I'm about to talk about tonight. So just a really brief introduction, and I want to dive right in because honestly, everything that I want to share is like wanting to bubble out right now, and I don't want to keep you here for 3 hours all night because I really have a lot to share on this topic. So my name is Jennifer Jayde. I help women mostly, but men are starting to come around too, to really step into alignment with the truth of who they are, their highest potential, and really live in full alignment with their soul. So I'm talking about a life of feeling fulfilled, contributing in a way that feels meaningful for you, creating an income in a way that inspires you, whatever it is on your heart to do, I help facilitate you get on that path. So let's get started. Tonight I want to talk to you about those feelings of struggling financially. So there could be varying degrees of this. It could be anywhere from I've been homeless before and I have an amazing peer named Kim who's been down that road. Incredible story. There's people who are, you know, on the outside they look pretty wealthy, but they struggle with carrying debt that they just can't seem to get rid of, and always having things pop up out of nowhere that just seem to take their money away. So it doesn't matter where you are on the spectrum, if you're barely making ends meet or you're living a pretty comfortable life, but you know, really things maybe aren't as good as they seem behind the scenes. So I want to talk about this tonight. I've had a few people reaching out to me recently to ask me about what they can be doing differently because they're seeing repeating patterns in their life of, you know, constantly being in debt or constantly having these surprise bills come up out of nowhere. So just when you think you're getting ahead, here comes the tax man, here comes this other surprise bill, here comes these car repairs, whatever it is. So I want to jump on this tonight. Let me know if you're here. Let me know if you're watching. Say hi, drop an emoji. Let me know what city you're watching from. I want this to be an interactive conversation. So please do leave comments, ask questions. I really want this to be a back and forth conversation between us. So, okay. Let me just, oh wow, look at everyone joining. This is awesome. Okay, so let's dive right in. First things first. If you're not familiar with me, I'm just gonna give you a quick Cliff's Notes because I want you to know that I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth, and that's okay if you were. There's nothing wrong with that. But I want you to know that I come from this background of, sometimes I wish my mom were here to share the story herself, because my earliest memories are being 3 or 4 years old. But her and I shared a basement suite together. She was a single mother. Her and I shared a bedroom, and there was some would call seedy people living upstairs. I'll just put it mildly. And she was trying to start a business in the other bedroom of our basement suite. I witnessed her have some panic attacks, a lot of anxiety, not knowing how she was going to feed me, not knowing how she was going to keep rent going. And as a kid, that triggered something in me to be very ambitious, be very driven, to run as fast as I can away from lack and scarcity so that I didn't have to feel the things that I had witnessed my mother feel as a young child. So teenage years, 20s, very type A, very controlling, very overachieving, very, wanting to excel to the point of allowing things to consume me and for there to be struggle in other areas of my life, because my sole focus is doing the best I can as fast as I can. And it wasn't a materialistic thing. Honestly, I'm not really super excited by materialistic things, and there's nothing wrong with that if you are. We're here to enjoy these things. But it was running from fear. That's what it really was. It was running from the fear of lack. It was running from the fear of anxiety and panic and worry. So I did not follow my heart to what I wanted to be when I grew up. I wanted to be a photographer. I wanted to take pictures for a living. I thought that would be so amazing to travel the world and take photos for a living. And one comment from one friend when I was 18 who said, well, have fun being broke for the rest of your life. Boom, that popped that bubble real quick, because I realized, I'm like, yeah, that's right, starving artists. Yeah, artists don't make money. Artists are broke, right? I'm 18, or 17, and this is kind of the things that I've picked up along the way. Does not mean that they're true. And I'm like, yeah, I need to be more realistic. I need to give my head a shake. I need to get a real job. And so I went into finance. And so I'm just grinding my ass off in finance. Honestly, it was not something that I ever enjoyed. It was just something that I tried to make the best of, and I tried to do the best that I could, and I was networking and going to real estate meetings every Tuesday and starting my own networking meeting for young professionals, and doing whatever I could to create income in my life, because I was associating money with safety. I was associating money with happiness. I was associating money with freedom. I was associating money with just not having to live and feel the way that we did when I was quite young. And so I would put my own intuition, my own inner guide, my own desires to the side and do the realistic thing, and get the 9 to 5 that I didn't want, and talk about things that I didn't care about. I don't care about interest rates. I honestly don't really care to watch the Minister of Finance on the news and hear what's going on in the world and have to regurgitate that to my clients and realtors. But I did it anyways, and I thought I was going to do this for the rest of my life. So I was able to forcefully create a somewhat healthy income as a mortgage broker. The sky was the limit on what I could earn. I was 100% commission based. So I had no base salary, not even minimum wage. I could make $0 for months on end if I didn't have any clients coming in. But on the other side, I could make as much as I could earn. There was no cap on, I didn't have a salary or anything like that. So I was just like running. Let's try and make some money. And by my mid-20s, I had generated a pretty decent income. I had bought a condo, I had bought a house, I bought a car, I paid for the big wedding for me and my husband to have when we were 23 years old. And I thought, okay, this is it, right? Like, I've checked all the boxes. I've got a great income. It seems to be steadily growing. I got the house, I got the garage, the dog, the husband, the wedding. Okay, like, here I am, I've arrived. Okay, like, I'm ready for the clouds to part and the sun to shine on my face and all to be smooth sailing from here on out. That was the dream that I had bought into. Whoever sold me that, I bought into it. And wow, was I ever disappointed. So let me know in the comments if you can relate to anything that I'm sharing. If you have ever found yourself really trying to control, your finances, really trying to force things to happen, worrying, running away from lack and scarcity. I just got a message from my girlfriend. Hey, thank you. I love you. So let me know what you're resonating with, because I just want to know who's here and what parts are resonating with you. Have you ever felt like you were type A, trying to control everything, trying to work harder and harder to feel that sense of safety, to feel that sense of happiness or freedom that you feel comes with having more money? That's what I'm curious if you resonate with. So let me know in the comments. Okay, Allison's holding her hand up. Adrian, that's cool. Okay, cool. I feel like I can't see all of these. Oh, yay. Hi, Trisha. Hi, Melissa. Yes, Melissa, working harder but no results, actually falling more behind. Thank you. Yes, I hear you, Melissa. Thank you. So, as I spent a lot of my life running, grinding, hustling, working harder, and then finally getting to this place in my mid-20s where I'm like, okay, like, here I am, I've done it. I should feel so happy and fulfilled, and it's just gonna be like easy rolling from here now that I worked so hard to get here. I realized that no matter how much my income started to increase, my sense of happiness, my sense of fulfillment, all of the things that I thought would be there were actually leaking out. They were decreasing. So here I am with money increasing and the house and the car and the condo and everything else that I just really sprinted to try and create for my life, and I'm just feeling less and less happy by the day. So I want to keep this wrapped up a little bit. So what I did was I had a wake-up call in my personal life. I really got shaken to the core over how short life can truly be. Up until that point, I had really believed in, live life to the fullest and, seize the day. And, I'd share all those quotes on social media, but then I would march back to my 9-to-5 where I was completely unhappy and completely wishing it was the weekend and completely wishing this wasn't my day and this wasn't my life. But I didn't realize the opposites of which I believed in what I was living. I didn't fully get that until I had this wake-up call in my life, and I realized that I was wishing my life away. I was wishing it was Friday. I was wishing I was on holiday. I was wishing I didn't have to come here. I was waiting till it was summer. I could at least do something outside, or wish it was holidays, Christmas, so I didn't have to come to work for a couple weeks. And I thought, wow, like some people pass away early, young, right? Like, I don't know if you've had that experience of someone close to you passing away at a young age. But my first experience with that was in my mid-20s, and it really awakened me to the fact that I might not be here in 10 months. I might go to the doctor, I might have some abdominal pain that is way more serious than I ever thought, and maybe these are my last 10 months, you know, and that's what happened to my family member. And I thought, forget this. I am not taking another day for granted. Doesn't mean that I walked into my office and quit my job. I mean, that'd be cool, and that'd be a way better story. But over the course of 2 years, I started hiring mentors. I started taking courses, workshops. I started traveling to wherever the best photographers were that I could find. I started my photography business. And I said to myself, I'd rather try and fail at something I love and have to go back to mortgages or working at the bank or wherever, than to stay here and die here, never knowing what could have been. I would rather try and fail at something I love than keep doing something that drains the life out of me and never know what could have been possible. So I started my photography business, worked my ass off in my photography business. That's all I knew. We are, especially, me, but tell me if you relate. Our parents really teach us the value of hard work, and money doesn't grow on trees, and a penny saved is a penny earned, and all of these things, right? You have to work hard, you have to work harder, grind, hustle, all of these things. So that's what I believed in. I did that with my photography business, and my photography business went well. I was traveling, I was getting paid to photograph weddings in Hawaii, Australia. I got to do workshops in Paris, in the Caribbean. And I thought, the only thing that could be better than this would be showing other women how they could do the same. And that's when I moved into doing the work that I do now. I want to wrap this up by saying, and I'm going to explain this maybe a little bit more as we go through the 3 biggest points that I want to share with you. I learned how to let go of the hustle and the grind simply because I was forced to. I honestly worked myself into overwhelm. Things started to get out of balance in my life, my marriage, my friendships, different things started to get out of balance because my focus was so hard on my business. My business is my passion. I love what I do. But there was some unhealthy aspects, some unhealthy attachments to creating more income and more money because I was still running away from that fear. So let me know in the comments if any of this is hitting home, if you're understanding what I'm sharing with you, if you're landing with it. Cool. Oh, hi, Paula. Okay, cool. Oh, this is awesome. Thank you for sharing this, Adrian. Great. Okay, so let's keep going. I after my whole life of the hustling and the grind and in mortgages, then again in photography, and then again at the beginning of this business, this online business, I hit that wall. I couldn't go on like that forever. I got exhausted. The rest of my aspects of my life were starting to crumble, and something had to give. So what had to give was the hustle and the grind. And that terrified me. It terrified me not because, I'm so attached to this idea of having money. It terrified me because I thought if I took my foot off the gas of my business, and you might think this if you're in a 9-to-5, well, if I leave my 9-to-5, like if you're in one that depletes you and you're not happy, and you think, well, I can't leave this because my paycheck, right? And my benefits, and all of these other things. So that's how you might relate if you're in a 9-to-5. For me, I was in a business, and I thought, well, if I take my foot off the gas, what does that mean for my business? Does that mean that my clients, my income, everything will start to decline? And then of course my brain starts going all the way back to when I was a kid, struggle, panic, worry, not being able to pay my mortgage every month, having to, sell my house or go into foreclosure or something. You know, our minds can be very, very powerful, either for us or against us. And if we allow our minds to be on autopilot, it will be against us. That's the easiest place for it to go. So after I hit that wall and I had to let that go, I had to sit back into this place of ease and allowing and letting go of the forcefulness of trying to make things happen all the time. And I was terrified, I'll be honest. I didn't know. I didn't know if everything I had worked for in my whole life, everything that I'd worked so hard in this online business was about to just disappear. Just like go down the bathtub drain. I had no idea, but I had to be prepared for that to happen because I was losing everything else in my life. So I went forward and, you know, I didn't walk away from my business. I didn't stop working on my business, but my number one priority became my happiness, my joy, and feeding my relationships, the things that are joyful in my life. My relationship with my husband, my friendships, having fun, being outside, oh my gosh, fresh air, like not having a laptop in front of my face for 12 or 15 hours a day, going to the fairs, doing things that made me feel like a kid again, walking along the beach, you know. These are the things that I would do before on a Sunday for like an hour, feeling guilty that I wasn't working. Let me know in the comments if you can relate to feeling guilty when you're not working. I don't, you know, if there's any entrepreneurs watching, sometimes it's hard for us to turn our brains off of our business. And we find ourselves trying to take time for ourselves and feeling guilty about it. So let me know if you can relate to that at all. So instead of work, business, income, money, being my like driving factor, again, not because of some materialistic wishes, but because I was just so terrified to slide back into what I witnessed as a child. Wow, things started to open up when that was no longer my priority. My priority was feeling good. Woo! My priority was joy. My priority was happiness. My priority was taking care of myself. Holy cow, did things turn around and turn around fast. So each morning when I would wake up, I used to think, okay, like, what social media messages do I need to respond to, and how many people were what comments I need to respond to on this, and who's emailed me, and okay, what am I going to do to promote my next program, and okay, what's on my to-do list, This is how I used to start my day. And it would start my day in overwhelm, and I'd start my day consumed with everything I had to do. And I switched that to what would be really joyful for me to do today. You know, I got in this routine of meditation, and I'm like, you know, I usually meditate in the same room on the same pillow every day, but like maybe, you know, it's so nice. I don't want to go outside. I'm going to go do it out on the deck or on the front lawn or at the beach. Oh, wouldn't that be kind of cool? You know, what friends have I not seen for a while? You know what? I'm going to message my girlfriend and say, hey, let's go for a hike, you know, or I'm going to go try this new trail with my husband on Saturday, or whatever it is. When I was first getting into this, my husband and I were in San Diego, and oh my gosh, we did so much fun stuff. We were going to theme parks. We went to Six Flags for the first time. We went on the Price is Right TV show, which was like a childhood bucket list thing. What else did we do? We hiked to the Hollywood sign. I'd always wanted to see that. These are the things that I would always put on the bottom of my to-do list because I had so much work to do, right? And when I started putting joy and having fun at the top of my list, from there, everything that trickled down felt really good too. So my marriage started feeling better. My business started feeling better. I started getting clearer ideas and inspiration for how I wanted to grow my business, what I wanted to create that actually excited me again, rather than felt like a grind and working hard. So anyway, that is where I'm coming from when I'm sharing these top 3 points with you that I'm about to go through right now. I started off at A, and which brings us to today. Today, I have a business online. I run it from my inner guide, from my intuition. I do what feels good when it feels right. Of course, it involves some planning. I know what I want to create, and I know approximately when, and that feels really good, and that feels really exciting and joyful for me. And then I ask, well, what are the most joyful ways to create this, or to promote this, or to whatever? Who do I want to collaborate with? Who do I want to whatever? And it's such a different way. I want to relate this to people who aren't in a business, right? So I've been talking about myself, and now I'm an entrepreneur, I have a business. But if you're in a 9-to-5 and you are finding that there's never enough money, there's never enough income, but you are on a static paycheck and you don't know how things are ever going to change, let's get into these top 3 things that I want to share with you tonight, because they do really relate to you, and also to entrepreneurs. There's people watching right now who have already done some work around money mindset, around clearing old self-limiting beliefs. And if you have already done some of that work, what I'm going to share with you tonight is different. I'm not going to just repeat those things that you've already learned and already practiced and already know on a conscious level. But if you haven't done that work yet, this stuff is really, really important. These top 3 things. Now, I want you to understand that I'm talking to a broad audience right now. So before I started this video, I tuned in and I asked, what do I want to share around money? I think about my past experience with money and my past relationship with money. I think about what I've observed in my family. I think about what I have talked about at length and deeply with my clients over the past 2.5, 3 years. I think about, the questions that people bring to me when they're private messaging me or emailing me. And I took that all into consideration and have these top 3 things. So I'm going to share them with you. I feel they will apply to you no matter where you're at. But if they don't, just know, if I was talking to you directly and personally, I might give you different pointers or deeper, more specific pointers if you and I were talking directly one-on-one. Okay, so number 1, to keep focused on money is what's keeping you from having it. If your focus is on money, it actually makes it harder to bring it into your life. It's like you need to work harder to create the same amount of money, or to call in the same amount of money, as someone who isn't feeling that they're worried about it, or that it's a struggle, or that they have to work really, really hard to get it. So how else can I put this? How can I put this in a story? Okay, for some reason this is coming up. So for people who played soccer, you'll know what I mean. Hi Lynn. Thanks for joining me. Hey. Yes, Trisha, I know what you mean. Hi Sarah. Thanks for saying hi, ladies. Okay, so my fellow soccer players, I don't play anymore, I played as a kid. If you didn't play, I'm going to explain what I mean anyways. So we were taught that when you want to score a goal, you need to look where you want the ball to go and then kick the ball, right? So you're looking where the goalie is, you're looking where the open part of the net is, and that is where you affix your attention, and then your foot will automatically on its own aim the ball in that exact direction. Whereas if you're new and you don't really, you weren't taught this, typically it feels more natural to look down at your foot when you're about to kick the ball. You want to look, beginners will look down at their feet and watch their foot kick the ball, but because you haven't focused on where you want the ball to go, it goes anywhere. It flies over here, flies over there, it goes directly to the goalie, or it goes, somewhere sporadic. It's because you're focusing on the wrong thing. You've got to focus on where you want the ball to go, and your feet do the aiming. You don't have to look at the feet, your foot. You don't have to force the foot to be on the correct specific angle to get to that place. You look at where you want the ball to go and your foot does it for you. So when you are looking at money, when you're focusing on money, you're focusing on your foot. And that feels like the natural place to look, right? Well, I want more money, so shouldn't I be focusing on money? Like that makes sense. I want to kick the ball. Shouldn't I be looking at the ball? Shouldn't I be looking at my foot? And the answer is no. I know it feels a little counterintuitive in this case, but you want to be looking beyond your foot and beyond the ball to where you want the ball to go and the outcome that you want. Now, the outcome that you want, and I want you to hear this with an open mind. I hope you'll listen to everything tonight with an open mind. The outcome that you want isn't actually more money. Stick with me for a second. Actually, I want to ask you, does anyone here know what I'm about to say? Oh, Allison understands my analogy. I thought you might. If you feel like what you want is more money, and I'm saying actually truthfully, that's not what you want. It's something else that you want. Does anyone know what I'm going to say? I think my comments are a little bit delayed, so just let me know. Okay. All right. I'll give you the answer. Joy. That's what we want. You can, if you don't use the word joy in your everyday life, happiness, fulfillment, freedom. Freedom is a popular one that people really associate with money. We feel like when we have more money, we'll have more, fill in the blank for you, freedom, happiness, joy, whatever it is, ability to travel, have a nicer car or a nicer home, or at least a car that doesn't break down, or whatever it is. So it's actually not the money. If you think about money, money is a piece of paper. It is a piece of paper with a president on it if you're in the States, or whoever is on them in Canada. I'm Canadian, by the way. So anyways, it's paper. It's paper that, I mean, we don't even really carry around the paper anymore either, do we? It's basically a number on an electronic screen at this point. That's not what you really want. What you really want is what you associate with what you think that dollar amount is going to make you feel. You think it's going to make you feel happier. You think it's going to make you feel more free. You think it's going to make you feel more spacious, expansive, whatever it is. And that is really what you want. So guess what? Instead of looking down at your foot with the soccer analogy and trying to kick the ball by staring at your foot and at the soccer ball, which is money, you want to be looking at where you want the ball to go and what outcome you want, which is joy, freedom, happiness, fulfillment, whatever those things are. Oh, Giselle's here, yay. Yeah, it's all about the Benjamins, baby. Thank you for the heart. Okay, so Sarah's smacking her face because I didn't know who the heck is on our Canadian money. That's hilarious. Thanks, Sarah. So when you are, with the soccer ball analogy, I said, you know, if you're looking down at your foot, you're looking down at the ball, that's you staring at the money. And we feel like that's the most obvious place to look. If we want more money, we look at the money, all right? So now I try to kick the ball by staring at my foot, staring at the soccer ball. But now the ball's going to go somewhere wild. It's not going to go where you want it to go. And so you do it again, and you do it again, and you do it again, and you do it again. And tonight I want to tell you, stop looking at your foot. Stop looking at the soccer ball. Where do you want the ball to go? Why? What is the outcome? What is the feeling that you think you're going to have when you have the money? Is it joy? Would you call it joy? Is it happiness? Is it freedom? And here's what I want you to do with that. I want you to start focusing on those things. Those things. I want you to focus on the freedom, the joy, the happiness, that. Because then your actions your guidance, your aim is going to land where you actually want it to now. Does that make sense? I want to know, is there anyone here who didn't play soccer that this is making sense to? Because I want to make sure this analogy is working even if you didn't play soccer. So the question is this, well, Jen, what the hell? Like, I'm struggling, or I have this same repeating pattern in my life where I start to pull myself out of debt, and then boom, something else comes crashing in, or I have this fixed paycheck and I don't know how I'm ever going to change anything, and now this has happened and now that's happened and I got to take care of this other person, and so to that I say, where in your life are you experiencing even this amount of joy, even this amount of fulfillment, even this amount of freedom? Can you start to really put your focus on those things, on how they make you feel, and really savor them, really enjoy the flavor of them, really bask in those moments, even if they're short-lived? Because what you focus on expands. What you focus on expands. What you focus on is where the ball's gonna go. I mean, I don't play golf, I don't play hockey, so maybe this analogy fits with those other sports as well. But what you're focusing on is where the ball is going to go, is what you're going to bring more of in your life, is the target that you're going to hit. So if you're right now focusing your target on not enough, I don't have enough money, I never have enough money. Once I start to have a little bit of money, boom, it's tax season. Boom, my car needs a repair. Boom, I owed money to someone and they're telling me I have to pay it back now. I don't know, whatever it is. Or my kids have this come up, and my this other thing happened, and now I've got to help my parents out with this. And so you're focusing on anything that comes after but, right? You're focusing on lack, you're focusing on scarcity, you're focusing on not enough, you're beating the drum of never having enough money, and so that is where your ball is landing. Never enough, always something coming up to take your money away. You take one step ahead and 2 steps back. This is what you're focusing on, this is what you're beating the drum of, and this is what you're getting more of in your life. Now, if this sounds, if anyone is watching and thinking, wow, this sounds really woo-woo and this sounds really like out there, then I want you to just give it a try. Because if what you're doing isn't working for you, then maybe it is time to try something new, and maybe it is time to try something a little woo-woo like this, because I tell you, it works. I wouldn't be talking to you about this, I wouldn't be sharing this with you if I hadn't experienced this for myself firsthand. I'm not just regurgitating information, I'm not copying something I heard from somewhere else or some quote floating around the internet. This is real life stuff. And I was a grinder, I was a hustler, I was a type A control freak that thought I had to work harder and harder and harder and harder just to get somewhere, just to get one step ahead. And I've done the opposite. I don't know if you know how terrified I really was to take that leap, to take my foot off the gas of working harder and harder and harder. I was terrified. I thought everything in my life I worked for was gonna go down the tubes. But I did that, I took that leap. And now I can tell you that being relaxed and focusing on joy and focusing on all the good things already happening in my life has brought me more good things in my life, including income, including healthier relationships, including a healthier marriage. I feel like that's how it's spelt though. Anyways, including more joy, feeling happier. And when I'm feeling happier, when I'm feeling full, this pours out of me into all my other cups around me, my relationships with people and my business and so on, my clients and so forth. And this applies to you if you're in a job. If you are, if you're in a job and you keep thinking about, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough money, I never have enough money, you don't have to be an entrepreneur to create more income in your life. But if you are not feeling joyful doing what you do, then it might be time to get curious about what else it is that you could be doing. It could be a different job. It could be a different role in the existing company that you work for. It could be honestly as simple as a change in perspective in the job that you already have. Sometimes that's all we need, is to look at the same situation differently in order to feel grateful, in order to feel happier, in order to enjoy it more. So I really want to leave step one with you really feeling that what you focus on expands. And if you're focusing on money, if you're focusing on lack, if you're focusing on not enough, if you're beating the drum of like, oh great, here's another bill, and then there's going to be another one and I can never get ahead, then this is what you're going to attract more of in your life. Whereas if you're like, wow, I may not be financially rich right now, but I did have some money come in this month, and that's way better than zero money coming in this month. I'm really, really grateful for every single dollar that came in this month. And you know what else? I have some really, really amazing friends. I'm an abundance of deep friendships. I have an abundance of love with my partner. I have an abundance of fresh air in the city that I live in. I have an abundance of fresh water. Like, think of a couple hundred years ago when people didn't have tap water, they didn't have showers, they didn't have bathtubs, they didn't have sinks, they didn't have washers and dryers, they didn't have dishwashers, they didn't have clothes just like hanging nicely in their closets and without like hand washing. There are so many ways that you are abundant right now, and the more that you will appreciate that and focus on that and really feel that in your body. I'm not talking about just reciting the words. I'm talking about feeling it in your body and keeping your focus on there. The more you will start to receive more and more and more abundance and blessings and income and everything else that you want into your life. When you focus on the good that you have, more good will come. When you focus on the lack that you have, more lack will come. Okay, let's move on. If any of these things aren't making sense, you are absolutely able to ask me questions or ask me to explain a little differently in the comments. So Lynn says, Tom always says when you split wood, picture the split log. It works. Okay, cool. Okay, I want to know what you mean by that, Lynn. Tom always says when you split wood, picture the split log. Oh my gosh, I get it. Okay, so Lynn is saying that her husband Tom says, when you go to split wood, picture it as already split, right? Before you take the swing and it splits. Oh, I freaking love that. I'm so happy you shared that. Trisha says, where focus goes, energy flows. And I know that there's going to be some people thinking to themselves, yes, Jen, I'm always saying like, I appreciate money and I want more money and I love money and come on money, come to me. And that's positive, right? Like, I'm speaking to it in positive ways. Like, I love you, money. Come to me. Come to me. I appreciate you. Please come my way. But can you feel the desperateness in that? Right? Like, if I truly felt trusting that money was going to come my way and that all I need to do is just relax and enjoy my life and take inspired action as it comes to me, maybe a new job opportunity opens up, maybe a raise, maybe a promotion, maybe a new position, maybe I see my existing role in a different perspective, maybe I get an idea for a side hustle, a side business, taking that inspired action. And these things start to come to you when you raise your vibration into feeling optimistic, into feeling hopeful, into feeling happy, into feeling peaceful in the life that you have while you're creating the life that you want. But if I start saying, I love you, money, please come to me, I'm open, come here, I'll do anything, like, it feels desperate and it feels like lack, right? that is more of a lack energy than a welcoming, attractive, magnetic, trusting energy. Let me know if this is making sense in the comments. Okay, number 2, attachments of self-worth or safety or validation by way of money can be anchoring it from coming up to you. So, how can I explain this? Attachments of self-worth, safety, or validation by way of money can be anchoring it from coming to you. So, using myself as an example, I had attached my sense of safety to money. I thought that I needed to create a lot of money, or at least, $100 grand a year or more, in order to feel safe in my life. And if I wasn't creating that, I didn't feel safe. And that's why I was willing to, shove aside time with my husband, shove aside time with my friends, shove aside time with my family to work on my business, because I didn't feel safe unless I felt like my business was growing and thriving. And even when you have one client coming in or one wedding booked or whatever, you can be like, okay, well, that's really great, but that money's going to be spent, so I need to get the next client and the next wedding and the next whatever. So I had it personally in my own example, and in my story that I shared with you earlier on this live, I had attached my sense of safety to money, and that drove me to go way out of alignment. I chose a career I never really wanted. I shoved aside quality time with people I loved. It caused me to go out of alignment because I had attached my sense of safety to money. Some people have attached their sense of self-worth to money. Maybe you feel like you are a total failure in your life unless you're creating a certain level of income. Maybe you learned this from society, maybe you picked it up from your parents, who knows, but you have attached your self-worth to how much money you're making. So you've always got to make more and more and more and more and more and more. And then you've created that amount, you got to create more. You got to keep going, you got to create more, because that's how you fill your cup of your self-worth cup, which is stemming from a power leak. And I've talked about that in a previous video, but if you're trying to fill a cup that's actually a power leak, well, it never actually gets filled up because it's just leaking right out. As soon as you try to fill it up with more and more and more and more money, it's actually just leaking out. So you got to keep going, you got to keep making more and more and more and more money, because that's leaking out, and it stems from a power leak. I don't want to get too deep into power leaks right now, but if you're sensing a pattern in your life of continually being in debt, of continually being behind, of continually not being able to get ahead, then there is some kind of core power leak at play here, and it will not stop, this pattern, just because you reach a certain age, right? So when we're younger, we think, as soon as I hit 30, I'll be totally financially responsible and I won't have any more debt by then, and it's my 20s, whatever. And then you hit 30, and you're like, okay, so by the time I'm 35, I'm gonna have this all under control, and I won't be taking these one step forward and two steps back anymore. And then 40 comes around, and then 45 and 50 comes around. So you really want to get a grasp on where the power leak is, or where the self-limiting belief is, or where the focus has gone awry. Now, because it's not just going to change because you reach a certain age or a certain level of amount of time has passed. It's something that you want to consciously figure out. Why do I have this repeating pattern in my life, and what can I do to change this? For anyone who's wondering how to do that, this live has gotten really long already. I still have to get to point number 3, which is my biggest point of all, especially for women. I'm sure it affects men as well, but if you're a woman watching this, please, you need to hear number 3. How you can find these power leaks that I'm talking about, and how you can extract them and release them, so that you aren't constantly repeating the same patterns in your life, whether that is constantly being in debt, constantly falling behind on finances and bills, never being able to get ahead. If this is a repeating pattern in your life, it's not going to be something that's just cured by time or age. It's something that you need to deliberately figure out, why is this pattern happening? Now, I can help you do that, but not speaking to a general mass of people like this on a Facebook Live, because there's too many people with, and it's different for each of you. It'll be something specific to you, something specific to your upbringing, something specific to your thought patterns, your beliefs, your focus, that I can't pinpoint for everyone on a single Facebook Live. But if you would like to join me and work on this directly in person, then you are more than welcome to join me at The Awakening. It's a live event, meaning not only will we be in person and connecting directly with one another, but we won't have the time constraint of a 1 hour Facebook Live or a 1 hour coaching session or a 2 hour group call. So if this is something that you really want to get to the root of, if you really want to unpack why you have these repeating patterns in your life, especially where these finances are concerned, you're more than welcome to join me at The Awakening. I guess I should probably let you know where you can find out about that. So for anyone interested, the doors are closing tomorrow at noon. I have, let's see, I have the link right here. Okay. I'll put it right here for anyone that wants to. There are limited spaces, so if you go to click the link and it's not active anymore, it's because the spaces have been filled. But unless the space is filled, doors are closing tomorrow at noon. Okay, so that's in the comments. So that's for anyone who wants to get specific with their own power leak, if they want to break their own pattern of struggle with finances, with income, with money, heal your relationship with money, really start to excel. Because I'll tell you something, people who have 6- and 7-figure businesses still have this, if they haven't dealt with this, they'll make all of this money and spend it all. You know, and it doesn't matter how much money you make, there'll be something that comes up, it'll have to go all to taxes, it'll have to go all to this, all to that, and it will be gone. If you've ever heard of people winning the lottery, they won millions of dollars, and it's here one day and it's gone the next. There are certain power leaks, there are things that we need to release, otherwise we will live our whole lives repeating this pattern. So the main ones, attachments of self-worth, of safety or validation by way of money, can be anchoring, keeping money away from you. So let me know if you want to work on that stuff together. It has to be more of a personal thing because it is so different for each person. Number 3, okay, let's wrap this up. Wow, time goes so fast. I knew this was gonna go fast. I had so much I want to share. Learn to receive without guilt or shame. And this is the one that I really want women to hear. Not saying that men don't have an issue with this, but in my experience, women feel guilty to receive. Let's check in and see if you resonate with this. So let me know in the comments if when someone pays you a compliment, you often will deflect and you'll say, oh, this old thing, like, oh, you know, it's nothing, it's just hanging in the back of my closet, or oh, I got it on sale at Target, no big deal, or oh, what? No, your shirt, your dress is way better than mine. So deflecting a comment is anytime you say anything other than thank you. So let me know, do you find that you often deflect compliments? Let me know in the comment section. Do you find, just think back, like the last time you received a compliment, did you say thank you and that's it? Or did you say thank you and then feel the need to pay a compliment right back, like you owed it to them to say a compliment right back to them, or to play down what they had said they were complimenting you on? Let me know in the comments. Okay, who just said that? I need to know who just said that comment. I can't see the name. Okay, hi Michelle. Okay, Melissa says, if someone offers to pay for me, I always feel bad. Is this the same? And Melissa, you beat me to the punch. I was just about to say that. What about when you go for coffee with a girlfriend, or you go to dinner with some friends, or you're out somewhere and someone offers to pay? Do you deflect? Do you say, no, I got this, or no, I can pay for my own, or whatever that is? So someone goes to do a nice gesture for you and you turn them down. Maybe someone offers to help carry your groceries to your car, or whatever it is. They offer to do something, pay for something, do something nice. You're like, no, oh, no, don't worry about me. I got it. I'm good. I'm fine. Don't worry about it. No, I'll pay for my own. I can pay for my own half. Or no, I'm going to pay for us. And you get into this argument over who's going to pay. Okay, so this is another signal or a clue that you may have some guilt around receiving. And here's the thing. If you feel guilty around receiving a free compliment, then it's a good sign that you feel guilty around receiving more and more money. And if there is some guilt around receiving money, then you will always spend it. When it comes your way, you will get rid of it. You will, whatever that is for you. So some people are really into shopping because maybe that's kind of their drug of choice. Maybe it's their coping mechanism. I don't know. There's nothing wrong with shopping itself. But if it's being used for a certain reason, sometimes it can be an addictive thing. Maybe it's that you need to give it to your, least financially stable family member. So you feel bad that you have more money than your cousin or your aunt or your parents or your siblings. So you start shooting money their way. Or you'll manifest some big tax bill or some medical bill or some whatever into your life, which will now also take the money off of your hands, because there's something around that you aren't consciously aware of, that you are uncomfortable with having more than you need. You feel guilty around that. Why should you have more than you need when your family member doesn't, or the starving children in Africa don't, or this homeless person doesn't? So you, without realizing it, do everything you can to get rid of the money that you have. And that is a symptom of being closed to receiving, unwilling to receive, or having guilt or shame around receiving. So these are the 3 top things that I wanted to share with you tonight. I have just a final thought that I want to share with you. It came through today earlier, actually, on a group call. Some of my girls here are on this live that may have heard this already today, because it just poured out of my mouth earlier today, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to share this with as many people as I can. And it's this. Many of us walk around, myself included, if I'm not paying attention, thinking, I'll feel joy, or whatever your word is, freedom, fulfillment, happiness. I'll feel joy when I have more money. And money is saying, you will have more money when you feel joy. In other words, rise to the vibration of joy, and money will meet you there. If you think that you have to have money before you can feel joy, it's like putting the cart before the horse. You are not energetically aligned to receive if you are in this lower vibration of lack and scarcity and, woe is me, and things don't turn out for me, and I never have enough, and where are you, money? I wish you'd find me. I love you. Please come to me. And this kind of needy desperateness. And I only know about this because I've been there. I know what that feels like. I've been that person. And if I'm not careful, I can slip there again. So if your vibration is here and joy is here, and you associate money with joy, right? And it's a resource for being able to do more joyful things, money is not going to meet you down here. It's not going to meet you down in the, I never have enough, woe is me, my life sucks, I can't pay my bills, why does this always happen to me, I can never catch a break. Money is not going to meet you down here. It's going to meet you up here. And so then we think, well, Jen, how the hell do I get up here when it's true? Like, I am struggling. I haven't been able to keep up with all my bills. I don't know how to da-da-da-da-da-da. And I tell you, stop focusing on what you don't have then. If you were here for the soccer ball analogy, stop looking down at your foot, stop looking at the ball, look at where you want the ball to go. Look at the outcome. Look at the feeling that you believe money is going to bring to you, and notice where you have it in your life today. And you think, okay, just for today, maybe I won't focus on the stuff that's not working out. Maybe I won't focus on the bills that I haven't paid. Maybe I won't focus on the money that hasn't come. Maybe I won't focus on the bills that haven't been paid. Maybe today I will focus on doing something fun, even for 5 minutes. Maybe I will take my kids down to the beach. Maybe we'll go down to the beach for a few minutes and I'll just breathe that air and bring in or maybe you don't live near a beach. I've always lived near a beach, so I always say beach, but go outside, be amongst the trees, breathe in some fresh air, go to a park, go down a slide at a park. Like, even if you don't have kids, I am admitting that in San Diego, we live near this children's park, and I went with my dog and I actually went down the slide, and it just made me feel like a kid again. I know it's so stupid, but like, it just brought that kind of like giddiness, joy back into my energy, into my experience. And I'm not saying you have to go to a park and go down a slide, but those things that make you feel a tinge of joy, a tinge of happiness, a tinge of freedom, do those things as much as you can. Focus on the abundance that you already have in your life. Take a look around at all the blessings that you do have. Do you have clothes to put on your back? Do you have a warm house? Can you just turn up the heat if you get a little bit cold? Can you throw your dishes in the dishwasher when they get dirty? Like, you couldn't do that 100 years ago. You didn't have a machine that washed your dishes for you. You didn't have a machine that washed your clothes for you. How many outfits do you have in your closet that you don't even wear? How many shoes do you have that you don't even wear? You are abundant. You are abundant. And so really focusing on that and appreciating that is going to bring you from down here to up here, to up here, to up here, to up here. And this is where more and more and more, because now you're vibrating at the same level of more and more and more joy, more and more abundance, more and more and more and more. You're vibrating at that level. It is going to come to you. It can flow to you now. It's not pinched off because you're hanging around down here focusing on everything that you don't want. So number one, just a quick recap. Okay, good. Okay, cool, yes. So just to recap, number one, if you're keeping your focus on money, then that's actually what's keeping you from having it. And the quick analogy was, if you ever played soccer, or if you ever played a sport, I think this relates to other sports as well. Let me know if you ever played any other sports. I think it does. Like even basketball, right? When you're shooting a hoop with basketball, I'm not an athlete here. I don't know why I'm talking about sports. Maybe there's someone who's athletic or sports. Hey, anyway, so when you're trying to shoot a hoop, right? You're not looking at your hand. You're not watching your hand as you're trying to make the basket. You're looking at the basket. You're looking at the net. You're looking at the rim. You're looking at the backboard, or wherever you're trying to get the ball in. That's where you're looking. You're not staring at your hand. If you are taking a golf swing, from what I understand, you get it all in position, and then you look where you actually want the ball to go and you make your swing. You're not looking down at maybe you are, I don't know, I'm not a golfer. If you're playing soccer, you're not looking down at your foot and at the ball, you're looking where you want the ball to go. So if in your life you have been staring down at your foot or staring at your hand, which is the same as staring at money, that's why it's not going where you want it to go, and it's not landing where you want it to land. So instead, bypass over the staring at your hand and look at the hoop. The hoop is, what do you think money is going to make you feel that you don't think that you feel right now? So if you think having more money is going to be the more joy, more freedom, more happiness, insert the blank for you, then that is what you want to be staring at. That is your net. Don't be staring at your money in the hand, be staring at the net. Don't be staring at your foot and the soccer ball, be staring where you want to shoot it into the goal. And that is the feeling that you think money is going to bring to you, because it's not money that we want. It's not this piece of paper that we want to have so we can admire it and just, put it in a frame and stare at it all the time. It's what we think we can do when we have it, what we think we're going to feel when we have it. So start focusing on what you think you're going to feel more of when you have it, and start feeling more of that now in whatever possible ways you can think of. Whatever ways, get outside, do something fun, do something out of the ordinary, watch a different show, watch some comedies instead of some, depressing, whatever shows. Go out with a new friend, invite someone new out to coffee, go for a hike. Whatever it is, have a bubble bath with candles and oils or whatever that makes you feel luxurious. It doesn't have to take money to make you feel these things that you're wishing you could feel more of. And as you do them in any small way that you can, you're going to raise your vibration from broken, poor, and woe is me, all up, where you can be in vibrational alignment with it and bring more of it into your life. Okay, number 2, attachments of self-worth, safety, or validation. These are just some examples. Again, I can't pinpoint it down for every single person watching, but some big ones are attaching your self-worth to money, how much money you make, attaching your sense of safety to how much money you make, which is what I was doing, attaching validation, that you are successful in your life because you make X amount of dollars. When you're putting that amount of pressure on money, that can keep it from coming your way. I actually want to share something around this piece right here before we finish up. And that is, this is actually what helped me start to reframe how I felt around money and my relationship around money. This is when things started to shift for me. I started thinking of money, I personified it. I made it almost like a person that I was in a relationship with. And I thought about it and I said, if I were money, would I want to be in a relationship with me? And am I being the type of girlfriend that money would like to be around? Or... and I laughed because I was like, oh, damn it. Am I being the needy girlfriend? Oh, money, where are you? Why aren't you ever here? You never call. You're never there when I need you. You're never enough. You're never enough. Oh, where are you going? Please come back. Where are you going? Come back. Come back. Oh, God, I love you. Come back, please. Please come here. No, get away from me. I don't want, you're too much. It's too much. I don't want too much of you, because what if this person, that person doesn't have enough, and now I feel guilty that I have more than I need. Go away, go away. No, please come back, come back. No, where are you going? Where are you going? And that's what I was doing. That was my relationship with money. And so why would money ever hang around me if I was playing the role of needy girlfriend? So be the cool girlfriend, right? Like when money's there, do what feels good. If it feels good to put it in savings, put it in savings. If it feels good to put a little bit towards your credit card and then have some fun with the rest of it, do that. Be the cool girlfriend, have this good relationship, this healthy relationship, and allow it to blossom and strengthen from there. I talked a little bit about the awakening and power leaks. We are going to be doing some really deep dive work with power leaks at the awakening event. Again, I wish I could get really specific with each of you watching. Unfortunately, I just can't do that in this setting. So if you have a repeating pattern of financial struggle in your life, and what I've learned is that it doesn't go away when you're like, oh, you know, I'm in my 20s, so as soon as I hit 30, like, I won't have to worry about this anymore. I'll be so much more financially responsible, and things will fall into place, and I won't have debt anymore, and like, you know, I'll be way better with money when I'm 30. Well, then we turn 30 and we still have the same patterns, and so then we turn 33, 34, 35, 40, 50, and the same thing is happening on repeat because we haven't made the conscious effort to shift the patterns that we're living and the power leaks that we have. So that's the work that we're going to be doing at the Awakening. Doors are closing tomorrow at noon unless the final space sells out before then. I put the link in the comments. Number 3, this is especially for my lady friends. I believe it may apply to men as well, but I know for women especially, a lot of us have guilt around receiving. And some of the signs of that, some of the clues are, can you take a compliment? You know, when someone gives you a compliment, do you say thank you and just smile, or do you deflect? Oh, this old thing, or oh no, this was cheap, I got it at Target, oh yeah, it was on sale, no, this is super old, no, your shirt's way better than mine. Or you say thank you, but then you have to pay a compliment back right away, like you owe them. You know, there could be a clue that you're hesitant to receive. You're not open to receiving. Same thing as, who said it? They beat me to the punch. Was it Melissa? Yeah, Melissa beat me to the punch. If someone goes to pay for something for you, if they go to pay for your coffee or for your lunch, do you deflect? No, I got it. No, don't worry. No, I'm getting this. I'm paying for this. You get in this argument of who's going to pay for what. Because you're not open to receiving. If someone wants to give you a gift, you feel like shit, like, oh gosh, now I gotta go get them a gift. Oh my gosh, like you can't just receive the gift. You gotta deflect. You gotta go out and get them a gift back. These are the most obvious clues that there is a hesitancy of receiving, and that includes money. So if you ever do get ahead, it's like something happens where now money is gone, right? And it's because there's this discomfort, this guilt, or this shame with having more than you need. And then the last thing I shared, just recapping for anyone that hopped on late, a lot of us walk around saying, I will feel joy when I have more money. And money says, you will have more money when you feel more joy first. So the last thought that I shared was, rise to the vibration of joy and money will meet you there. I hope this served you. I hope that sense was made of everything that was coming through to share. I feel like it was a bit fast and furious, but it was over an hour of sharing. So I hope that it made sense for you, it landed for you, it served you. Let me know in the comments, whether you're watching the live or the replay, if it made sense for you, if it served you in some way, if there's anything helpful in there. If you have any questions on the Awakening, feel free to either put it in the comments or private message me. The doors are closing tomorrow. That's Thursday, May 3rd at 12 p.m. PST. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I love you guys. Thank you for being here, and I will see you next time.